Well, were you surprised when you heard this?
Well, yes, I was. And actually, I hate to tell you, Dan, I don't always watch the news in the morning, and my cell phone beeped, and there was a New York Times breaking news story, and a note from Danielle Cummings, shocking news about the Pope. So then I had to go find out what was happening. But,
his health is the given reason. You saw him face to face as recently as last October. What do you think? Have you noticed a weakening in him as well?
Well, I think he's an 85-year-old man, and most 85-year-olds walk a little slower, and he's carried a full load all this time. When he was elected Pope, he had hoped after John Paul II he'd be able to retire and go back to Germany. That didn't happen. He was elected. I saw him in October, and he moved slowly, but there was no indication of any other difficulty other than aging that I know of. It's interesting that last year, if you follow the papacy, he, on two different occasions, he appointed men to the College of Cardinals. Last time in November with about 6 new appointees, bringing the total of papal electors up to 120, which is the maximum. So perhaps he was preparing for something like this.
Do you feel that by resigning now he'll be able to hold sway for his successor? Do you think that he's already setting that up?
Well, I think that the Code of Canon Law provides that when Pope wishes to resign because of age or ill health, he does so. It doesn't have to be accepted by anybody. I think then he's announced that as of, I believe, 8 p.m. on the 28th of February, the see will be vacant. I would suspect that the College of Cardinals will meet shortly after that and elect a successor, but I mean, I don't think anybody knows how that will go or who that will be. Or
do you think there could be he'll have some influence though over who could be selected?
No, I don't think so.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think he would be an elector himself. Yeah. He's over the age of 80. He's the Pope. He's resigned, so it would be. I mean, we haven't done it in 700 years, so I don't know. But my guess is that he would not be present at the conclave or consistory, and that they will have their discussions and come to an election. And they ballot twice in the morning and twice at night, so there's 4 ballots a day. And I believe that you can check it out, but on April 19th, I think he was elected like on the 3rd ballot or something like that. So, it'll take a while for people to get to know each other and to come up with it.
Do you have if you were to indicate where you think the next Pope should come from, some people say in sub-Saharan Africa or the South America, one of the areas in the world where the church is growing. Do you agree with that? Or could you just give us an overall statement on if you were on the College of Cardinals, who would you be pulling for?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it is true that the church is developing in some of the third world countries. The center of the large Catholic population isn't as much in Europe as it once was. But I'll have to leave that up to the College of Cardinals and let them figure it out.
But every time there's a vacancy, and there's always speculation about what direction the church will move in, given who the next Holy Father would be. Will he be conservative? Will he follow, more traditional church teachings, or is this a chance for the church to appoint to have a new pope who will perhaps move the church more quickly in areas of dogma, of rules, regulations?
Well, the teaching of the church is timeless, and I don't see that whoever is elected pope, I don't expect that there would be any major changes. Certainly dogma develops, doctrine develops, there's an understanding of that, but the basic truths are there, and no matter who's the pope, he's going to be holding to those truths.
What would you you see as his legacy?
Well, I think he's been a great teacher. He continues to be a great teacher. He's a writer. He's a prolific writer. He was before he was Pope, and even afterwards he's found time to write. Just last, I think it was Friday night, he spoke to a group of seminarians in Rome off the cuff for about a half hour, and was teaching them about the priesthood and the church and all that. Gave a wonderful talk. And I think time will judge him as to be one of the great teaching pontiffs.
He came in after one of the most popular
John Paul II.
popes in history, I suppose you could say, or almost.
Right.
Was that a difficult shoes for him to fill, do you think?
Well, you know, he and John Paul had worked together closely for a number of years, and I'm sure that they were of like mind. But he brought his own gifts, his own talents, his own particular way of governing, which was, I guess, somewhat different than John Paul. But, you know, I'd like to believe that the right man is chosen for the right time, and each one chosen brings a particular gift or charism and a particular mode of governing. And so, was it difficult? It probably is. It's a difficult job no matter who you follow. It's just, generally speaking, a difficult job. So I don't think it's...
How do you explain this to Catholics who haven't seen this sort of thing happen in 600 years? I mean, it's not, you know...
It doesn't happen every day, you know. But there's very little in the church that you can't say there's a precedent somewhere for it. And I think that while it hasn't happened in 600 years, perhaps Benedict thought that, okay, I really need to step down because I don't have the strength I need. He certainly watched John Paul, who had a different view, who said that the Lord has given him this job and he's going to fulfill it as long as the Lord gives him life. Maybe he felt that, maybe Benedict felt that it would be better to let somebody younger and better to do it. So, you know, in Rome, you know, I'm sure that it hasn't happened in 700 years, but at the same time they say, well, okay, the Pope is dead. You know, we'll elect a new Pope and the church will go on. So.
You said that maybe he's hoping to give it to a younger man. He was 78 when he was, and most popes, I guess generally speaking, tend to be older men by the time they become Pope. Do you think that perhaps the College of Cardinals should take a hard look at the best available younger man who might be able to bring a longer period of vitality and vibrancy to, without coming in so old, frankly?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I'm so old that I remember when John the 23rd was elected and everybody thought he was old, you know, and then Benedict was older. They elected a young man with John Paul I, and God had other plans. 30 days later, he's dead. So you really, it's hard to say. I suspect that, you know, I mean, maybe, I think John Paul II was about 58 when he was elected. And some people would say maybe that's too long to be Pope, you know. So I think that probably, what do I know? But, you know, somebody in probably his 60s or something would probably be elected.
Could I ask you this, Bishop? Within the hour, Archbishop Cardinal Dolan in New York told reporters that he believes it was a mark of Benedict's humility that he knew how fragile he had become, and that he had such esteem for the office that he decided to step